Get ready for the action because the Oklahoma City Thunder are locked in for Game 2 against the Phoenix Suns. After a dominant performance in Game 1, the Thunder are bringing that offensive and defensive fire back to the Paycom Center. Sports director Brian Keating revealed that the Thunder suffocated the Suns end-to-end, forcing 17 turnovers, including 13 steals, setting the stage for a massive clash.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we break down what you need to know before the Oklahoma City Thunder face the Phoenix Suns in Game 2 of the NBA playoffs. We look at 3 critical things you absolutely must know. First, the Suns are completely confused on how to attack the Thunder, with swingman Dillon Brooks admitting that deploying superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the primary defender will force him into isolation shots. This sets up a huge question about Phoenix's offensive strategy. We also dive into the expectations for Game 2, where the Oklahoma City Thunder have the advantage of a rest period, but the Suns are coming back with renewed energy. We examine how the Thunder need to prepare for a sharper defensive rotation and Phoenix's best offensive punch, especially considering the recent run of upsets across the league. Finally, we look at the statistics that will define this contest. The Oklahoma City Thunder scored a jaw-dropping 34 points directly off turnovers, which shows how they plan to push the pace and keep Phoenix reeling. And finally, we talk about the sheer dominance of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This star is proving to be an absolute artist at drawing contact at the free throw line, ranking second in both attempts and makes in the playoffs so far. With 15 of his 25 playoff points coming from the stripe, Gilgeous-Alexander is using every rule to his advantage, and the Thunder fans need to know how this scoring weapon will impact Game 2 as they fight to keep that home court advantage intact. The Oklahoma City Thunder enter Game 2 of the Western Conference first-round playoff series with renewed offensive and defensive intensity following a dominant performance in Game 1 against the Phoenix Suns. The team is set to return to the Paycom Center to face the Suns again. Following the intense contest, sports director Brian Keating of channel YouTube 5 highlighted the significant defensive effort displayed by the Thunder in the previous matchup. Keating reported that the Thunder suffocated the Suns throughout the game, forcing 17 turnovers, including 13 steals, underscoring their defensive prowess as they look to maintain momentum heading into the second game. The NBA playoffs are heating up as the Oklahoma City Thunder face the Phoenix Suns in Game 2 of their opening round matchup. With Game 1 concluding in a blowout, both teams are preparing for a critical contest, and analysts point to several key factors that will shape the narrative of this pivotal game. One major focus is Phoenix's offensive strategy against the Thunder's stifling defense. Suns swingman Dillon Brooks has signaled a potential adjustment, suggesting that if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is deployed as the primary point of attack defender, Brooks will look to initiate isolation plays. However, star Devin Booker has expressed reservations about an isolation-heavy approach, emphasizing the need to understand the Thunder's defensive rotations and help-side schemes, stating that isolation ball will not succeed against the defense. Conversely, the Thunder are positioned to capitalize on any offensive missteps from the Suns. Analysts suggest that OKC should look to exploit any opportunities for shots at the rim, noting that securing possessions where the opponent is last to touch the ball is a key factor in victory. Phoenix is clearly searching for a new offensive blueprint to break through the Thunder's defense. Second, the momentum and energy levels are expected to shift. The Oklahoma City Thunder entered Game 2 with a significant advantage, benefiting from a decisive rest period following their Game 1 victory. They have time to build on their preparation, focusing on sharper defensive rotations and utilizing Phoenix's best offensive punch. The Suns, having fought hard in the play-in tournament, now have 2 days to regroup and recenter before facing a rejuvenated Thunder squad. The league's recent trend of upsets suggests that the Thunder must be prepared to withstand an early surge from Phoenix and maintain composure in front of their home crowd. Finally, turnovers are anticipated to be a defining characteristic of the game. The Oklahoma City Thunder showcased their ability to leverage turnovers, scoring 34 points directly from them, which allowed them to dictate the pace and disrupt the Suns' offense. While limiting turnovers against OKC remains a challenge for Phoenix, the ability to control possessions will be crucial. If the Suns fail to curb their errors, the contest is likely to remain a high-scoring, intense affair. Noi Dung Kai Tait. The Oklahoma Senate has rejected a measure aimed at granting tribes exclusive rights to implement in-person and mobile sports betting across the state, marking another setback for legal sports wagering in Oklahoma. House Bill 1047 failed during a vote with a margin of 21 to 27. The bill was originally introduced last year by Senator Bill Coleman, Arponga City, and Representative Ken Luttrell, Arponga City. During the Senate floor debate, Senator Coleman argued that prediction markets already exist in Oklahoma, but that the state does not benefit from them. He contended that the proposed bill did not introduce a new avenue of gambling, as legal sports betting is already available and unregulated, resulting in no benefit to the state. Coleman asserted that the bill instead offered a regulated alternative through platforms concerned about problem gaming. Critics of the legislation voiced concerns that supporting the bill could contribute to sports betting addiction. Following the vote, Coleman requested the Senate reconsider the issue in the future, with a spokesperson indicating that the bill could be brought back to the floor in the coming days, contingent upon securing necessary votes within his caucus. The measure sought to grant tribes the exclusive right to operate sports betting in Oklahoma as a supplement to the State Tribal Gaming Act of 2004, which currently grants tribes sole authority over gaming through exclusivity fees paid to the state. These fees were proposed to be 8% of sports betting earnings, with revenue from NBA and WNBA wagers directed toward the Strong Readers Act Fund. Despite support from the OKC Thunder and a supermajority of tribes within the Oklahoma Indian Gaming Association, which had previously agreed to revise the bill, the measure did not pass the Senate. Furthermore, a spokesperson for the Oklahoma governor's office stated that Governor Kevin Stitt does not support expanding the state's tribal gaming compact, criticizing the existing compact as lacking transparency and fair market rates. Governor Stitt has historically opposed sports betting bills that grant gaming exclusivity to tribal nations, arguing that such exclusivity would create a monopoly incompatible with a free market system. With the bill failing to advance through the Oklahoma State House of Representatives, Oklahoma remains one of only 11 states in the nation without legal sports betting. The Oklahoma City Thunder's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is setting an unprecedented standard in the playoffs, forcing other NBA teams to reconsider their strategies against his dominance, particularly at the free throw line. Described by Gilgeous-Alexander as incredibly difficult to stop, his prowess at the line has been a major talking point. During last season's title run, he led all playoff opponents in both foul shots attempted and made. This trend is continuing rapidly, with Gilgeous-Alexander currently ranking second in both categories with 15 made and 17 attempted free throws in just one game. His shooting range is proving to be exceptional. His free throw attempts are nearly matching those of other star players, including Jamal Murray, Anthony Edwards, and LeBron James, who have all played 2 games in the postseason. Critics have dubbed him the league's newest free throw merchant, a moniker that has been repeatedly debunked by the sheer effectiveness of his shooting. Gilgeous-Alexander is widely regarded as the premier scoring weapon in the current NBA landscape, demonstrating efficiency across all areas of the court, inside, mid-range, beyond the arc, and crucially, at the foul line. In the postseason so far, 15 of his 25 playoff points have come from the stripe, highlighting his masterful use of the rules. Despite the league-wide trend of upsets occurring in the second games of the series, the Thunder are maintaining momentum heading into their next contest against the Suns, bolstered by home court advantage following their Game 1 victory. Team leadership is emphasizing a singular focus, staying focused on their immediate goals and preserving their home court advantage as they prepare for the remainder of the series.